Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? New Orleans Saints had the first day of mandatory minicamp on Tuesday, and there were 88 current New Orleans Saints there and 2 tryout players. And one of the tryout players is a name that should be very familiar to all of us. Cam Akers, the former 5-star running back who, LSU was in on Cam Akers right there to the very end of that recruitment. He ends up going to Florida State, as we well know. In the 2020 NFL Draft, he was a second-round pick of the LA Rams and has had a 5-year NFL career that after a good rookie season with the Rams, where he ran for over 600 yards, a couple of touchdowns, injuries limited him in 2021, played in just one game, came back with the Rams in 2022, played in 15 games with 9 starts, ran for nearly 800 yards, 7 touchdowns, and then the Rams traded him to Minnesota during the 2023 season. So he played for the Rams, the Vikings. Then in 24, he played for the Texans, then back to the Minnesota Vikings. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster of a career here for Cam Akers, who came into the NFL with so much promise and potential, but unfortunately, of course, injuries have limited him a bit, and now he's trying to catch on with the Saints after being with the Rams, the Vikings, the Texans, and then back to Minnesota. But Kellen Moore, after practice on Tuesday, talked about bringing in Cam Akers for a tryout.
Yeah, Cam's an experienced player. He's done a lot throughout this league, and as you go through this, you're always trying to evaluate as many players as you possibly can, and so I felt like it was a great opportunity, and really fired up that he was willing to come out here.
So there's a couple of ways to look at it. There is the need for the player, and then also what the player's worth or what the player's role might be. As I mentioned last year, Akers is only 25 years old, so he's still a young player. And we talked about the shelf life of a running back, and typically by age 30 is when you see running backs decline, start their decline. Akers only 25, and last year was with the Texans and the Vikings, and combined ran for 400 yards, a couple of touchdowns, caught 14 passes. So he's again, a versatile player. And he was traded to the Vikings during the 2023 season and then signed with the Texans last offseason. And then the Texans traded him back to Minnesota. So Minnesota's traded for Cam Akers twice. A little surprising that he's not back there, considering they've traded for him twice. But Kevin O'Connell last year, the Vikings head coach, last year talked about trading for Akers for the second time.
Cam has looked really good, whether it was the early reps in preseason with the Texans or, scoring against us when we played. Cam's been somebody that we didn't necessarily want to let go to somebody else last offseason, but good football players, that tends to happen. Really is a depth move, has no bearing on kind of our current running back situation, Aaron.
So it was someone they didn't want to let go. That's good. And again, if you're going to trade for a player twice, it says you like the player. And if you go back even further, Sean McVay, of course, was coach of the Rams whenever they drafted Cam and had him there. And as we mentioned, injuries are kind of one of the big questions for Cam Akers. And this was McVay talking about Akers' ability to bounce back from those injuries.
Yeah, I think just resilience. I mean, the guy's mentally tough. I mean, you look at it, and I saw Cam. It was good to see even in the Hall of Fame game be able to do what he's done. But when he came back from the first Achilles and you look at the timetable and, Dr. Elatrosh, has some amazing things that he's able to do to accelerate that, but that's a real credit to Cam and the work ethic, that he has and really what he's put in. And so you can't say enough about just, people that overcome things. Cam's got examples of being able to do that, and you're pulling for him.
There's a lot of reasons you just heard Sean McVay say, to pull for the guy, right? He's had multiple injuries, including the Achilles. He was actually in 2024. He got votes for Comeback Player of the Year. It's a really unfortunate thing when a talented player has his career limited by injuries, but that's what's happened with Cam Akers with two pretty serious injuries so far in his NFL career. When you look at New Orleans, this is a team that is obviously looking for an improvement in the running game. I personally think that has to start up front. And the investment in the offensive line has to pay off. Moving Trevor Penning to a more natural position, a guard, is going to be a big part of that. You've drafted Kelvin Banks, who you hope is going to be your franchise left tackle. You're moving Taliesin Fuaga to right tackle, which was his position in college, probably a more natural NFL position. Like, that investment in the offensive line has to pay off in your running game. I don't know what to expect from Alvin Kamara. Part of me, quite honestly, is just waiting for the other shoe to drop, because while Alvin is a guy who notoriously trains on his own in the offseason and has had his share of injuries throughout his career, Alvin Kamara had a very productive season last year. After 3 consecutive seasons of declining production, had a very nice bounce back last year. And at 30 years old, I'm wondering, okay, what do you do for an encore? Let's see it. There's obviously a lot of reason to be excited about Devin Neal coming in from Kansas. You've got Kendre Miller, who you used a third-round pick on, that you're hoping can stay healthy and be a productive player for you as well. He was drafted kind of with the intention of being the next Alvin Kamara, being Kamara's replacement. But so far, injuries haven't allowed him to be a productive player. Now, remember last year in camp? Do you remember last year in camp when Dennis Allen was point blank said, can't make the team in the training room? I mean, or hard to evaluate a player that hasn't been out here. I mean, Dennis Allen was taking the most passive-aggressive shots at Kendre Miller all throughout training camp. So maybe with a new head coach, slate wiped clean, maybe it's a new opportunity for Kendre Miller. And Kellen Moore's even said that it's a new opportunity for these third-year players. And then you've got Clyde as well, who's a former first-round pick, but he kind of falls in the same category as Cam Akers, the young veteran back who's been around, isn't necessarily going to be a bell cow, more of a depth piece to see how that may look. That can give you depth at the running back spot. If Cam Akers is healthy, 25-year-old Cam Akers can be a very productive player for you. But the question becomes, would you rather that be Kendre Miller still on a rookie deal, realizing his potential with a lot of tread still on the tires, having not gone through Achilles injuries or anything like that? I mean, that's, in my opinion, the best case for New Orleans. The guy that you used a third-round pick on, manifesting and realizing that potential to have a great season. Like, that would be awesome. And then, you look after his rookie deal's done. Do you want to extend him? And maybe he does become the transition from Alvin Kamara to the player that we all thought hoped he could be whenever you drafted him. Someone like Clyde, who I love, or Cam Akers, those are veteran depth pieces that's just patchworking a backfield together and doesn't feel like a long-term solution. What you want to have here is either Kendre Miller or Devin Neal become awesome. That can become your future RB1 to replace Alvin Kamara when that day comes. If Cam Akers makes the team, it feels like he would be making it at the expense of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And obviously Clyde's from Baton Rouge, played at LSU. We're all very biased and want to have Clyde make the team and have a great year, but it really feels like those two dudes are vying for that spot. So we'll see what direction it goes. But if the New Orleans Saints even offer Cam Akers a contract based on how it goes with this tryout. But it's an interesting one to watch, and clearly the Saints are still looking to improve at running back if they're going to continue to bring in veteran workout players at that position. So Cam Akers, someone we all know of well, working out for and trying out for the New Orleans Saints here at minicamp. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.